where it was disassembled. It remained in bits until 2003, when it was brought back to the UK and reassembled. The bike was acquired by the present owners in 2010, who have restored it back to its current condition. Tiger Cub. That's a 199cc bike. This particular one is ex-French Army. And that's followed by the auxiliary fire service. It's built in 1960 and was used to shepherd convoys of mobile fire service columns around the country on exercise. That's followed by number 37. The American Ginger when it came out of military service, it was civilianised by being trenches in Gloucester and painted red. Owned by Sue and Peter Bold from Shepton Mallet.
Oh no! It's gonna bottom!
And now the first of our Land Rovers today. And we seem to be getting them in order this time. This is the earliest one, the 1955 Series 1, 86-inch short wheelbase, the canvas top, 2-litre company. Owned by Barry and Margaret Lacey from Somerton. That's followed by a slightly later version, the 1976. This is the Series 3, long wheelbase. 2.25. And then we come even more up to date with our Land Rovers. This is the 1996 Land Rover Wolf Wimmick, owned by David Manning, who that's followed by the big American pickup.
What's this?
This is a particular pickup served with the US Army in Germany and Bosnia in the 1980s. The M923A1, American 6x6 truck. This one's particularly 14-litre diesel engine. And a go anywhere vehicle. To lift the front of the van to our tank transporter and trailer loaded with a tank. All that weight then when he has now found and fitted the correct EKA body and underlift system were made for the guard. Germany, and was later used by the Dutch Army until its release in 2000. The bike was laid up for years in its unrestored condition. At some point in its life it has had an attempted respray, but to no avail. It was acquired by the present owners in 2010 and is regularly shown around shows around the country. vehicle from the Second World War that everybody knows. That particular vehicle is owned by Annie Best and driven by her son. Notice the articulation of the suspension. Again, built as a go-anywhere vehicle with a very large mid-mounted winch for recovery work. Originally, military services vehicles were powered by a large Meadows petrol engine. CCKW 353 cargo personnel carrier. Again, a 6x6 truck, built in many thousands by the Americans for the war effort. They then found use with many of the European armies post-war, and a lot of these trucks were kept in storage for many years before being released onto the surplus market. But again, built in favour.
Here's a 101.
At number 62, another of our Land Rovers, but not very much different from the others we've seen. This is the Land Rover 101 forward control in its ambulance version. Originally built as a soft top, as a gun tractor for the 105mm light gun. Some of the chassis were adopted, as we see here, as an ambulance, with bodies by Marshall of Cambridge. It's powered by 3.5. We have the big brother of the MW we saw earlier. This is a 1943 Bedford QL 4x4 truck. Again, built in many versions. This is an office body version. And that's owned by Mr. Arkedge. And that's on a short wheelbase. This is the lightweight version, the 2.25 litre petrol engine. Again, this is owned by Mr. D. Gedge. It's permanent 6-wheel drive, powered by a Rolls-Royce P80 8-cylinder petrol engine under the cargo bed of the vehicle. The driver's located centrally, and look at the shape of the amphibian, powered by Dowty water jets at the rear. And that was the store. We have a number of awards to give out today during the parade, and the first of those vehicles has now arrived in the arena, which is number 64, the 1944 Austin K2 ambulance. This particular one, second Lowland Division, landed in Holland in September 1944. It worked through to Germany till the end of the war, and then was shipped to Norway. It was brought back to England in 1989. It's been owned by Colin Harms from Buckfastleigh since 1998, and we're very pleased today to award the Dick, Richard and Marion Shepherd Trophy for Best Vehicle in Show to Colin. Number 110 programme, and displayed back in its original RAF colours. Jacqueline and Philip have brought that little truck over. Where's that from now? From Bedford. And number 71. And another of our Land Rovers, this is again another early Series 1, this time displayed in desert markings. Funny to show earlier on. It was acquired by Richard a few years ago, and he has restored it back to its wartime configuration. wartime American Jeep, there was quite a lot of differences under the bonnet. The different engines, 24-volt electric system rather than a 6-volt system. The present owner, Ray Boyer from Bridgewater, acquired the Jeep, and that's owned by Ron Moore from Kibworth. And number 20, we're back to one of the American wartime Jeeps, 1943 with its Jeep number. On a Willys it's a round tube, and on the sometimes stamped with an F. And the Jeeps are just again giving you a demonstration of their versatility through the holes and the humps. Wartime British vehicle number 94. It's a very rare truck. This is the 1940 CDSW gun tractor. Particular vehicle, when it came out of military service, was converted to a timber tractor, and the rear bodywork had been stripped off free, drove it home, and it's made a brilliant job of restoring it back to its original gun tractor configuration, constructing the entire rear body from scratch. That's owned by Graham Jones. Member of the group who come down to us every year from London, the North London Army. And we're just going to look forward to more of them. On the load carrier, as the owner Paul Mantle's demonstrating there, it's a very little vehicle. Another one of those little box tractors. Again, a highly manoeuvrable little thing. And with quite a turn of speed as well. That's followed by Paul Mansell from the North London Barmy Army. One of those go anywhere vehicles, 160 engines. Very high gas drive now, just coming into the arena with this little Tilly. This is the 1944 Morris Tilly. And this particular one was demobbed in 1948 and sold to SEB in Oxford.
Oh, look at that one there.
And Land Rover. This is a Series 3 with 109-inch wheelbase, 2.25 litre petrol engine. Soft top and fitted for radio, and this one's fully kitted out with its Larkspur and Clansman radio kits. Was attached to second para in a reconnaissance role in the Gulf War. That's owned by Robert and Caroline Watts from Honiton. But when the British Army had a requirement for a night this improved the handling characteristics of the truck very much. Come on to some of our bigger vehicles. This is a Honda Engineer tractor. Again, used for removal of obstacles, road building, construction of gun emplacements, etc. by the Royal Engineers. Interesting point of this vehicle, it has a two-man crew, and both of the crew are capable of driving the vehicle in either direction. Also, you wouldn't believe it, the car used in the reconnaissance role. Very similar chassis to the stalwart we saw earlier, permanent wheel drive, again the Rolls-Royce V80 engine and the petrol engine. All of the gears in forward and reverse. Mounts a 76mm gun in the turret, which is the equivalent of many of the size of gun of many of the to the Bear hull as we built it. And as I can testify, having owned a similar vehicle in the past, that they are some highly complicated pieces of kit that require a high level of maintenance. There were a number of other vehicles built on the similar chassis, including the Harrison Armored Personnel. Seen the stalwart earlier, and there was also a fire tender built on the chassis called the Salamander. A three-man crew of driver, gunner and commander. And on a good day they were capable of somewhere around 4 miles to the gallon. But that would rapidly diminish going cross country. Because precaution, the arena. Combat Engineer tractor is owned by Andy Long, who's again a member of the North London Barmy Army. Got a Jaguar petrol engine, mounts the same 76mm gun as the Paladin, and to keep the weight down on the vehicle, made the sensitive to balance one of the first applications of it. Capable of pumping out a large number of shells over a small time. And then we've got another vehicle, again 1972, but this is a conversion. 76mm gun in Scorpion turret. It was in the engine. A box armoured car came out. The vehicle just about to take to the hump in the middle is one of these conversions. So looking very similar, and this conversion is called the Sabre. And now our guys will give you a little demonstration of the agility and manoeuvrability of the vehicle. display for us. So thank you very much, Andy. And I think we've got up to about 9 out of 10 for the synchronisation now.